in here. We are back live here on the Rock Music Hub. We are also available on 990 WBOB each and every week, and we have got a tremendous guest with us today. He joins us live here on the old Skype, the old Skype-a-rooney, and technology, of course, is against us today, as it always is, but we have got a great guest. Go ahead and give us a brief introduction on yourself, my friend. Tell us a little about yourself.
Hello. Yeah, technology is always against me. I don't know how to use Skype. I've used it like 3 times my whole life. My name is Nick Mason. I'm also known in some music circles as the Living Dead drummer, which is
awesome.
Just a fun nickname.
Awesome.
And yeah, excited to finally sit down and chat with you. It's going to be cool.
So how did you get started doing this music thing, my friend?
Well, I kind of was, I don't want to say forced into it, but strongly encouraged by my family, we'll say. I come from a long line of musicians. My father's a guitar player. His brother, my uncle, is a bass player. And then on my mom's side of the family, all drummers. My mom's a drummer, her brother's a drummer, their father is a drummer, a bunch of cousins are drummers. If they weren't drummers, they married drummers or their kid's a drummer. And
that's awesome.
So, yeah, so I got a drum, for like my first Christmas, which was like a toy drum with Animal from the Muppets on it. But then when I turned 2, my uncle gave me like a real snare drum.
Okay.
And that kind of kicked it off. So it was like, here's your career, kid, go.
Awesome. So you are out on basically a virtual tour. You've got some new music. How do people get in touch with you on social media? How do they do this exactly?
If you look up Living Dead drummer on any social media platform, I'm under that name on every single one, even ones that I don't use. I've just downloaded it to get the name.
Awesome. So, tell me a little bit about this whole thing about being the Living Dead drummer. This is interesting to me. Tell me all about this.
It was kind of just a marriage of things that I love. So obviously being a drummer, I put my passion and my career into it. And then I'm also just a very big horror movie fan, and I'm involved in a lot of the, we'll say, spooky community out here in Los Angeles, the haunt type communities and stuff like that. I always go to like horror conventions and stuff. And I was doing a gig for the Coffin Case Company,
awesome.
Which they're a company that's been around for 25, 30 years at this point.
Yep,
and
they're great.
They called me up for their 20th anniversary celebration a few years back, and they were like, we want you to be involved. And I'm like, great, you make guitar cases and I'm a drummer, so how does this work? And we came up with this idea, as they always used to do at the NAMM show every year in January. They always used to do this big fashion show where they would have alternative and goth runway models kind of do a runway show, but to, heavy metal and stuff. And so they wanted me to get involved with that. And what we did is I called a buddy of mine, and we set up 2 identical drum sets on each side of the runway. And the girls came out and did their runway fashion show while we performed flanking the stage kind of thing.
Awesome.
And they had us all done up in this cool corpse paint and stuff like that, and like really, really badass makeup artists that came in and did our makeup for that. And it was a great event. I mean, like John 5 headlined it with his band, and LA Guns, Beasto Blanco were the opening acts. Alice Cooper came out and did a couple of songs with Beasto Blanco. It was a really, really amazing event. And it was at that event that I kind of first got the name Living Dead drummer. It was kind of getting tossed around backstage, sort of just to describe what we were doing. And I was just like, light bulb.
That's awesome.
Went and bought the domain name the next day. I was like, that's such a great name. And I did my research. I was like, no one's ever put those 3 words together in history. I'm taking it.
That's awesome. That's fantastic. We have got a great guest with us today. He joins us live here on our big broadcast. And so how do people find a lot of your stuff? How do they get your music and all the different stuff that you're involved in?
I try to keep my website fairly up to date. So livingdeaddrummer.com is relatively up to date. It's always got the most current tour dates as they're confirmed, kind of thing. I won't put things up there that are like maybes. It's like once the date is official, it goes on the website. And I also keep it up to date with any music videos that I'm in and interviews that I do, and also links to various artists that I record for and stuff like that. I do a fair amount of recording session work out here, and every time there's a new release, it goes on the list, kind of thing, with links to that particular artist's Spotify or Amazon or wherever you can buy their music, kind of thing. Because none of it's really truly my music. I work freelance, so all the stuff that I do is other people's property.
Yeah.
But I do include ways to find, pretty easy, accessible ways to find it, just all right through my website.
Fantastic. Now, you've got some new music out there.
Mm-hmm.
How do people, get a hold of this and buy it and support you and all these things?
Pretty much everything nowadays goes through digital distribution. So Spotify and Amazon and Apple Music and all the usual suspects and stuff like that. You can find that stuff. The most recent releases that I have out are with a few different groups. There's the Deadlights, which they're a virtual band. Actually, there's two of the guys in that band I've never even met before.
That's
in person.
awesome. That's awesome.
Everybody's located in different states, and we all have home studios, and we record on our own and sort of just email and toss things back and forth. But we release one brand new song every month, and we've been doing that for the last several months. So every month there's a new song by the Deadlights on Spotify and, like I said, Amazon and everything else. I also have a new song out that I played drums for an artist named Jules the Howl.
Okay.
She's got two songs out that I've played on. The most recent one is called "Rule Your Mind," and that's, of course, Spotify and Amazon and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And then I think next month there's an EP coming out. I think it's April. I don't want to get this wrong, but there's an EP coming out from an artist named Ethan Royal, someone who also I've never actually met in person. But their EP, I think it's 6 songs total. I played on every song, and there's Spotify pre-save links and stuff like that on my website for that. And I think that's the most current up-to-date releases, but it's kind of changing and fluctuating. I have a busy recording schedule, so there's always something new coming out from somebody, which is nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we are going to do this. We are going to play this song that you're involved with, Jules and the Howl.
Awesome.
Tell us a little bit about this track and everything.
Well, which song are you playing?
We have got, let's see, the new single, Rule Your Mind.
Okay.
Cool. Tell us about this.
So this one is a collaboration between Jules and another friend of ours, Adam Nye, who's a guitar player. This is his actual original music debut. He's been in the LA circuit for a little while, played in a couple bands, does a lot of open jams and stuff like that, but he's never actually released his own material.
Okay.
And him and Jules got together and partnered on this song that they wrote together. And then they called me and asked if I would lay the drums down for it. And then everything was sent to Jules' producer that she works with for all of her material and stuff like that. It came out incredible. I'm really, really happy with the way this thing turned out. It's a really good power anthem, kind of. I don't want to get the message wrong because this is their song and they wrote the lyrics for it and stuff like that. But it was my understanding that this was kind of a, kind of a take back your power sort of anthem, which is kind of fun.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
A lot of energy.
Well, we are going to go play it. I appreciate you making time for us today. Thanks for coming on and chatting with us, and I definitely want to do this again, my friend. Thanks for being with us. Before we let you go, how do people get involved with this virtual tour that you're going to be involved in?
So the virtual tour starts this week. It's with a group called FleischKrieg. They are a German-style industrial band, much like Rammstein kind of thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's very cool stuff. And so the virtual tour, there's 5 shows this week, starting on Thursday, depending on what area you're in, 3 in North America and 2 in Europe. Depending on your location, there will be a specific date and time for your live stream concert. And I believe if you go to their website or if you look up the New Apocalypse Tour, you will be able to purchase tickets. They were, I think, $15, but there might be a sale going on, being that the tour is this week. For that ticket price, you're going to get 3 bands. You're going to get FleischKrieg. You're going to get Nuda, who's an ambient industrial solo artist, who I was actually just in her new music video that came out 2 days ago. And there's a third band, and I have to apologize because then who they are escapes me. But it's like a regular concert tour. You get
That's
a
awesome.
whole night of live music, depending on your region and your location. So you just got to look up the New Apocalypse Tour. And there is a link, actually, there's a direct ticket link on my Instagram. So if you go to Instagram and look at Living Dead Drummer, right in my bio, there's a link to purchase a ticket for it.
No problem. Well, let's do this. Let's play this track, and I appreciate you making time for us today. Thanks for coming on and chatting with us, my friend. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Appreciate it, brother. I'll talk to you soon. There he goes, the Living Dead Drummer. And it is Rule Your Mind right now on the Rock Music You Rule Your Mind. That's the preview. You can find it on Spotify. Go purchase it today and help out the band and the Living Dead Drummer. That is that for Rock Music Hub.